because I'm gonna have to sync those things up. Do you know why I'm gonna have to sync those things up?
Everything but the kitchen sink. I don't know. That's just...
No, that's not. Is that how this? It's everything and the kitchen sink.
Oh, and the kitchen
it's
sink?
It's everything and the kitchen sink.
Oh, I thought it was everything but the kitchen sink.
Why is... Who doesn't consider that part of everything, though?
I learned recently that the saying... You've heard this saying before, probably. You might actually know this already. A horse apiece. People don't say that anywhere else.
Like other countries. Like other English-speaking countries.
Other parts of the United States.
What?
That's a like around here kind of thing. People.
What does it mean though? I know it, but
yeah, it means it doesn't matter. Like it's a horse apiece. You know, there's no option that's better.
Okay.
They're like both options are.
How confined of a region are we talking right now?
I'm pretty sure it's. I don't think it reaches as far as Pittsburgh even.
Wow.
I know.
So like just this city?
What? And like maybe like the local regions around, you know? But
I just thought that was a normal thing people said.
Me too, but I was talking to Colin's dad is in town.
Yeah.
I was talking to him and Colin, when he was really little, he actually grew up in Florida.
That explains why he's so weird.
Yeah, exactly. But
it all makes sense
now. That's what his dad was saying. Because we were talking about pepperoni balls.
Okay.
Pepperoni balls are something that you can really only get here too.
Yeah, because they're a horse apiece.
Because, you know, it's a horse apiece, right?
Yeah, they're a horse of pepperoni.
Because you can get like pepperoni bread in a lot of places. But this is the only part of the country that you can get like
I don't think I believe balls. That. I don't think I believe that.
Well, that's that's his thing though, because he lives in Florida, and every time he comes up here, he gets pepperoni balls because you can't get them in Florida for sure.
Right.
But
it's too warm. They wouldn't grow.
Well, yeah. There's the climate, you know, of the region, but
yeah, I gotcha.
But yeah, saying a horse apiece they don't do that anywhere. He was talking about how he was talking to somebody and he used the phrase and they looked at him like he had two heads. They were like, "What are you saying?"
Do they say that elsewhere? Like he had two heads?
I think probably. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Now you're gonna have to look at every saying. What if that's the rest of this podcast?
Just every saying.
We just go through every saying that we know and see if other people say it where they are.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Those are fun things to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be good for D&D though too.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't. No, let's not do that.
Well, why not? I think that's an interesting thing.
Okay, so actually
yeah,
having your characters say sayings that are only from a certain region is really good. Forrest came up with some good ones that Marty would say from time to time. He says some interesting stuff. I don't have my phone with me right now because what? I don't know. I don't have it with me right now.
It's indisposed.
Yeah, it's being used, but
yeah.
The thing is, like, I write down all of the things that Marty says.
Oh, the sayings he has?
Yeah, I have them all.
That's great.
I keep track of them. That's one of the things I take notes on. Just only stuff that interests Liam or is things that Marty says. That's pretty much what I write down.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, though, welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have to like introduce the podcast now.
Okay. I'm Matt.
I cast Vicious Mockery, and welcome back to This Is Austin. Actually, that's a different YouTuber's thing. Hey guys, this is Austin. It doesn't matter. Hey, we're in my wife's craft room, we're in the midst of some yarn, and I don't know what else you guys can see up Ponyta up there, and I think you can see BB-8 over there. Right? Can you?
I mean, I can see BB-8.
Can you see him? Very good. Well,
Awesome.
Oh man, I am so excited to have video on the podcast, even though I guess that makes it not a podcast exactly.
I am too.
I'm excited.
I think this is a good move.
Yeah.
Because I get to point out that I donated blood today.
Yes. Let's talk about donating blood in D&D.
Okay.
Should your characters donate blood? It depends on their blood type, obviously. Now, why should you know your character's blood type?
Well, in Japanese culture, your blood type says a lot about you.
So first of all, your blood type does, in fact, I am 100% certain there are a lot of studies have shown correlations between blood type and other things, like which types of blood you could receive, but also maybe personality. 100% certain that there have been correlations in studies about blood type.
Yes. There have been studies about blood types.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, your character's blood type should basically affect their personality, right?
If you want it to.
If you want it to, exactly.
If you want it to.
Every time.
You could also do it the opposite way, and whatever your character's personality is, you can decide what their blood type is based on that.
Oh, true. That would work as well. Now, what about actually mechanically using your character's blood type? Like they need a transfusion.
Well,
but it turns out they have okay, so maybe we shouldn't get into rare blood types like H or whatever. H negative, or those ones that like a few people have been confirmed to have this rare blood type.
I've never even heard of that before.
Oh yeah, there are rare blood types out there that are like, some of them are compatible with other blood types, like they'd be able to accept a transfusion and stuff, but and I don't have them all memorized, but there are blood types with like double digits confirmed people who have them and things like that. Yeah.
Wow. What? I wonder if that'll progress and evolve or mutate into expanding the blood types as we know it throughout the population of the world. That's interesting. I didn't know.
But do you mean expanding the blood types as we know it, like as in like we'll find more and more people with different ones?
Yeah, and it'll keep.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I guess it's probably based on genetic mutations. So we're always going to have a few, but I most of them are probably recessive, and therefore,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm a product of nature's cruel joke because I'm O negative, which means I'm the rarest of the common, blood types, but also I'm the universal donor, but I can only receive O negative myself. So
you're the most rare. So if you need help, it's hardest, but you could help other people.
But I could help anybody. Yeah, exactly. which is an interesting way for it to work. I mean, that's just how it is, I guess. But actually, there. I don't think there's anything official, but Matt Mercer has a cleric subclass that he created that is all about blood stuff.
Ooh, I like blood stuff.
Yeah, I
wait. Is it a vampire though? Because we already established. I don't think I'm very fond of those.
It's not a vampire per se.
Oh, per se.
I think it's a cleric. I'm not even 100% sure if it's a cleric, but I think it is. I didn't look too much into it, but you have the subclass has abilities where if you have samples of somebody's blood, they can do things where like they can track them, like how like a ranger would, like with hunter's mark. But it works. I don't think it works across planes, but as long as they're on the same plane as you, you know exactly where they are. It might cross planes too. I don't know, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a thing to consider too. We haven't had too many people to track in our campaigns so far who like we need to know where they're gonna be or where they are right now, they're elusive and hard to find. Hasn't happened too much, but it could. But I take things like that into consideration. Like you guys don't have a ranger
in your party.
That is true. Yeah.
So
it'd be harder for us.
That'd be tough. You'd have to hire somebody.
Which
or do a favor for somebody.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about hiring somebody, because you wanted to talk about Tasha's Cauldron of Everything today.
A little bit,
because today is Tasha's Cauldron of Everything Day.
Yeah, I guess that lets you know when we're recording this, because Tasha's Cauldron of Everything released today.
Same day as President Obama's book.
Yes.
And some book by Dave Baldacci.
And the anniversary of the first recorded case of COVID-19.
Oh man!
Interestingly enough, today is
Well, isn't that special?
Yeah. Anyway,
Do you think COVID-19 caused Tasha's Cauldron of Everything?
Ooh. No.
Okay. So anyway, what do we want to say about this cauldron?
Well, I haven't really read it yet.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm going to probably next episode, no promises, but next episode I'm hoping to talk more about the later part of the book. It's like almost like 200 pages or something like that.
That is true.
Like it's a big source
It's
book.
a hefty boy. It's a real big, thick, hefty boy. Let's be honest.
I'm really glad I pre-ordered it though, because there were quite a few subclasses that were unearthed arcana on D&D Beyond, which is what we use for our games.
And that's why we have them, because they released some of the stuff early. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool.
The way that it works, when they put it on D&D, because not like, I'm pretty sure that unearthed arcana just means that somebody made a thing.
Yeah.
And
that's basically all that is.
So, but when they put it on D&D Beyond, that's basically Wizards of the Coast being like, "Hey, this has potential. Like, we think this could work," and then it's play tested through the website, and then if they decide that they might make tweaks to it, but then if they decide that it's good, they'll release it officially as part of a publication.
Right.
So, there are actually 3 subclasses that I'm pretty familiar with, because we have players that have been using it, or I've talked to players about using it.
Okay. What have we got?
Well, I have to say that one of them I can't talk about, because I could talk about it, but I can't tell you specifically which one it is, because there is a player who's thinking about multi-classing into it.
Okay.
And I don't want to like give away any secrets about anybody's character, right? But so I won't talk about that one. But the ones I can talk about are they're actually the 2 monk subclasses that have made it into Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, which is Way of Mercy monk.
That's Soft-Ed.
Which is Soft-Ed. So I play a Way of Mercy monk in Paul's campaign. And then Way of Astral Shelf monk, which is what Colin plays. That's Kinzoku.
Yeah.
Yep, Kinzoku in the campaign that I run.
Yeah.
And they're both pretty cool.
Yep.
I like them a lot. I do. What I think makes them... Monks are getting a lot of love, because recently D&D Beyond also published the Way of the Cobalt Soul monk subclass, which is what Bo is in campaign 2 of Critical Role.
Right.
And I just I think it's cool, because they're all they all got their own little different flavor, which you're like, of course, but I think that a lot of subclasses can feel kind of samey.
Can you tell, like, what is, we gotta go into each one of these maybe.
Okay.
What is the point of a Way of Mercy monk? Like, what are they about?
So the Way of Mercy monk is, as far as I understand it through reading about it and playing one, is about the idea, the concept that showing mercy to somebody doesn't always mean. It basically is bringing up the moral quandary of of what mercy is. Because mercy could mean that you can heal somebody. So a Way of Mercy monks get an ability where they can basically punch somebody back to health.
Okay. So that it's that sort of that balance between dealing physical harm and helping. And well, I guess you can talk more, but because I know where it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The moral quandary is that it basically is saying that sometimes like euthanasia, like is they call it mercy killing,
right?
Like sometimes that can be seen as merciful. So it's sort of like, I like it a lot because it has this dichotomy, this sort of yin yang quality to it, and I haven't done this yet, but actually the way I've been thinking more and more about it, the way I'd like to role play the healing is like a Ty Lee sort of style pressure point thing.
Yeah,
I think would be the right way to do
that makes sense. Yeah, like a pressure point, like
it
releases, like all of a sudden your chakras flowing.
Yeah,
and you're like, whoa,
you open up,
boy, baby, that's some spicy stuff.
Yeah, it increases blood flow to the correct areas to stimulate healing. Because that would make sense, right? Because and I want to do it that way because Safed is very particularly adverse to magic.
So it would be more like I'm making your body heal itself.
Yep, exactly.
Like this isn't like me getting in there with some kind of mystical force coming through you. It's just like it's like surgery. It's surgery with no cuts, or maybe some cuts. Maybe that is like what happens. Maybe like seriously,
bloodletting,
tiny little incisions and stuff like like stuff where like I hit you and you get like a little laceration like in there, but it's it's like well, I don't know if you know about this, but with actual surgeries, they have these like little surgical lasers or things like that where they can do like tiny cuts that you can't even see, but you can go all the way in there. And so you can get a cut that's like 3 millimeters wide by nothing, and you can go like all the way through it. And it could be something like that.
She's got laser punches, I guess.
She's got laser punches. That's I mean that would be
that's a cool way to role play.
A really intense way.
Yeah, absolutely. And because the interesting way of playing it like that is it's a skill because her intelligence is low.
Yes.
So it's not she doesn't understand. She doesn't understand, like she's not she's proficient in medicine.
Right.
But I think of that almost in terms of like home remedy, like sort of things.
Yeah,
it's not science either.
No,
right? No. It's wisdom based. It's like that's kind of I actually thought about all of that pretty recently because I really haven't been playing her that way yet. But I think that's the direction I'd like to go, because that makes more sense.
Yeah.
For her. So that's Way of Mercy. It's that dichotomy.
It's pretty cool.
Of you show mercy either by lifting someone up, healing them, or you do a mercy killing,
which Safed does a lot of.
Yes. Yeah.
She shows a lot of mercy to a lot of all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what about? What was it? The Way of Astral Projection?
Yeah, Astral Self.
Astral Self.
Yeah, the concept of that is through meditation and sort of it's almost like achieving enlightenment.
Right.
That's kind of
that's a very monkey thing.
It's very monkey, absolutely. Your words. It's
yeah.
I
got it right.
No, that's what I would say. So the concept, I think, is you get in touch. In D&D lore, the way that I've understood it, as far as the Astral Sea, is that when you go to the Astral Sea, you can, I think you can technically physically go there.
Okay.
But the most common and that would be really, 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 really hard to get there physically.
Okay, yes.
The way that you get to the astral sea is through astral projection.
Right. Where that's where this is coming in.
Yeah, where your soul kind of... I think the concept is that your soul... I think the idea is that your soul is always mirrored in the astral sea. Mm-hmm. Like, it's always there.
But it's like... Is it that the physical part is usually what you're experiencing and what's in charge, quote unquote, and then astral projection is flipping that, and you're this part?
Yeah, that's you could see it that way. You could also see it as like sending your soul to the astral sea, which makes maybe more sense because there's all these rules and stuff about your astral tether, and if it gets cut while you're in the astral sea, then you can't get back to your body.
Right.
There's stuff like that too. But the way of Astral Self Monk is all about getting in touch with your astral self and being able to use different parts of your astral self, your soul more or less, in combat.
Okay.
So that's why Kinzoku can summon his astral arms.
Yes.
Right.
So those are. Those are manifesting from the astral plane into the physical plane.
Yeah, I think you can think of it that way. Mm-hmm. Or you could think of it as it's his soul presenting itself
out of its body
physically.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And what other cool stuff can they do?
Either way is fine.
What
other... Well,
also, could he have chosen feet instead of arms?
As like a flavor thing? Sure. But eventually...
Then you could be an astral centaur with yourself.
You get the
like your body sticking out of your body with the legs coming down, and
okay. This is fascinating. It's
and you stand up on your hind legs and kick with the front legs, or you can buck and kick with the back legs, and but they're just human legs.
So basically, what you're suggesting here is that you do like that classic Halloween costume, but with yourself. and your, like, basically your soul.
Yes. It's like you in the front and your soul in the back, kind of like a mullet.
Oh, okay.
But it's with your soul, so it's a soulet.
A molus.
That doesn't sound good at all.
Mole, I guess.
Yeah, a mole. It's like a
mole.
Mole. Yeah, okay. We'll work on it.
We'll workshop it a little bit more.
Man, what would a mullet be with more soul? What would that?
Whoa, with more soul?
More soul. Yeah.
Not sure.
You like really were putting everything you had into that mullet. Anyway, sorry. Okay. Astral. What cool abilities?
Hold on. Play me like 15 minutes of smooth jazz saxophone, and then I could tell you how to get more soul into your mullet. Okay, so Way of the Astral Self Monk. I looked through the whole thing at the beginning of the campaign, and I look at what everybody gets every time they level up. But it's been a while since I've looked into the whole thing. I do know that eventually you can summon the head of your astral self. Like level 20, I'm pretty sure, is you can just summon
your astral self.
Entire astral self.
Yeah. Like there are two of you separate on the battlefield or wherever you are.
And I don't know if it works exactly like that, but it could.
Okay, so.
Yeah, it's something like that though.
Well, that's a little bit. That almost feels like the cleric ability of invoke duplicity.
Yeah.
So I don't think it. I don't think it would be exactly that.
Well, it could be because it could be similar because if we're talking about level 20, you'd have more physical interaction because
that's true.
The duplicate can't physically interact with anything. You can cast spells through it,
right?
But it doesn't have. It's intangible, right?
True.
So. There are limitations. Can you see through your duplicate, or like, do you have any senses through your duplicate?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
No. Okay, I wasn't sure. I can't remember if
you can speak through it though. So maybe that isn't true. Because when you cast a spell, you can do it from there, but I think it does the talking.
Okay, it provides the verbal and somatic components.
Yeah.
Well, it couldn't really provide material components.
Right.
I guess
because it can't touch stuff.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah, I'll have to look at it again.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played with Edward for a while, so
I can't remember either. I'm somewhat familiar because Jester is a trickery domain cleric,
right?
On Critical Role as well. But I don't know.
Yep. We'll find out, I guess, sometime. Do we want to talk about Cobalt Soul? Is that what it was called?
Yeah, I can.
Nice.
I can.
I remembered.
I can delve into it a little bit.
Okay.
I think this is the one I know the least about because I didn't actually read through. Well, I did actually.
Wait, no. Before that, no. Let's talk about Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. So, what did you read so far?
What have I read so far?
Yeah.
I read chapter 1, which is like 3 pages.
Oh, okay. It just like introduces you to like this is what this book is about. Something like that.
Well, I looked through the table of contents.
Okay, tell me about the table of contents.
Okay, well, yes. I can tell you that Tasha's Cauldron of Everything talks about a little bit of game mechanic things,
right?
With subclasses and proficiencies and things like that. A little bit of stuff that I think is great, and I probably would have done without needing the book. But I'm glad that there's a source that says these things.
Yes.
Because a lot of people maybe wouldn't have ever thought of this kind of stuff.
I think maybe the idea is it gives you a little bit more permission to step outside of the standard rule set.
Yeah,
I think you need to, or when you want to.
Right, because I think a lot of people sometimes get a little wary of stepping outside of what the rules say for fear of imbalancing the game in some way.
Yeah, imbalancing the game, or... Well, that's the big one, isn't it?
Yeah.
They don't want it to be unfair. But I mean, like I've said before, fair, it doesn't mean it's the same every time, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
right.
So yeah, I think that the idea of being able to just be like, hey, like this normally going shopping at a mall is a thing where you talk about how your characters are walking around and looking at the stores, and I roll random stores or whatever, and that's fine. But now this time, we're gonna make it a skill challenge, right?
Yeah.
It's you're doing Black Friday shopping.
Ooh boy, who's getting trampled in the mall?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting.
That's a really good, like Thanksgiving one shot.
Black Friday
shopping. Oh my god. Because we played the one Thanksgiving one shot, and that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'll see if I can find it to link in the show notes later. But I thought it was great. What was it? Feast at Plymouth Rock. So it was
that's the one where I got the wish and I gave it to the little kid, or something.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah,
maybe.
Like there was a little kid and there was a wishbone, and you were like, you have one wish, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna give it to this little kid. Or no, I broke the wishbone with the little kid, and the little kid got the wish.
Something like that, yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't know either, but yes, that was part of it, was breaking the wishbone, and somebody actually got the wish spell.
Yes, yeah, that was definitely a mechanic. Well, you had us redo it a couple of times because I kept getting it. I did it with Alex's character, and I kept getting it. But I was playing straight up chaotic. Like that was my character's personality, was chaos.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't remember the characters that people played during that one.
I don't remember my class.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I was a rogue.
Anna was an Aarakocra monk, which, by the way, Aarakocra monk. Whoa.
Yeah, it's a good...
Talk about movement speed, man.
And with flight, too.
Yeah. Right. Well, they have a base flight speed, I think, of 60. But then, like, as a monk, you can go faster.
Does the flight speed increase too?
I don't remember. I think so, though.
That would be pretty crazy, because a monk's movement speed increases by 20 by the end.
Yeah.
And like really high levels, I think it's that much.
Plus, I also allowed for a homebrew thing of doing like a dive bomb. If you set up by flying like straight up a few turns, you could cover horizontal distance a lot faster as you like dove to the ground.
That makes sense.
It does make sense, and mechanically, it's actually pretty fair.
Because you have to spend a couple turns
to loop it back around here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just like it's like charging up for your solar beam in Pokemon. It's
you know, powerful,
like it's a really great ability. I forget if I might have even added. Well, maybe if I had done it now, I would have said like you get added advantage on your hit, or maybe just an added hit die of some sort for like hitting into them at 270 miles per hour or whatever, you know, like just flying straight in and striking with talons or something. That could be cool.
Yeah.
Because in Aarakocra, like raptors, I'm talking the type of bird, the avian raptors, they fly super fast and they kind of slow down as they swoop and pick up something. But an Aarakocra monk would just fly down and then slam you with their talons and land on you, right? They'd just be like, and you'd be in the ground. That's what I think.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
They're probably light though, to be able to
They are. They're pretty. They're not as light as you would think, but they're pretty light. Actually, so Pat one time played a skeleton who was reanimated, and they are roughly the same weight as an Aarakocra, I believe. They're in like the 40s of pounds, if I remember correctly.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Which is extremely heavy for a bird. It's like the heaviest actual birds are only in the 20s or teens or something. Like the big birds that you can think of off the top of your head. Yeah. Like eagles and condors and stuff. Mm-hmm. You could hold them on your hand easily. Like it's not even that hard. They're a little heavy, but not really. All the raptors are in single digit weights. Super light things. Aarakocras are fairly heavy. But yeah, it turns out reanimated skeletons are only like 40 something pounds. That's all they are.
Well, they got nothing on them.
Yeah. That's the like actual weight of a human skeleton too, though, I think.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think some character in that campaign would throw him. Because 40 it was a barbarian or something that threw him.
Which one was that? Which game was that?
It wasn't one of our campaigns. It was with his real friend. No, some other friends.
Okay. Okay. So I wasn't in.
No, you weren't there.
Okay, gotcha. Because Pat, his preference is
fight,
murder, hobo.
Yeah. I think he was a fighter in that for that character or something.
A fighter skeleton.
Yeah, that's cool. Fun. Dude,
that's cool.
Playing a reanimated skeleton sounds pretty fun.
It does.
In general.
It does.
There are problems with it, I'm sure, but
yeah,
it's fun. It sounds pretty great.
Huh. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, right?
Absolutely. No, that's fun. I like that a lot.
I think one of the problems was that like if his bones broke, they don't like regenerate. He doesn't like heal. So like if his skull got cracked further, it would just be cracked I don't know, something like that. Anyway. Yeah, we don't have to talk about Way of the Cobalt Soul. You got any are you thirsty?
Getting a little parched.
Could really use a little something in my throat right now.
All right. Okay. 2 or 3. How many? Because I could do 2, but I could do 3.
Ooh, I'm scared. You know what we got to do?
What's that?
Is tell me what the first one is. What's the first thing? What are we looking at today?
It's a feat.
Okay, a feat. Mm-hmm. All right. What else have we got?
There is, just a sort of a world building blueprint.
That we could talk about for a while. So we'll save that one for last.
Okay.
And what's the other thing?
Sort of like a subclass, sort of like a class thing.
Oh, okay. Let's start with that, then the feat, then the other thing.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. So, this is interesting. The user is StoryBeforeNumbers. Mm-hmm. I think that tells you what they're all about.
Wait, can I try to guess?
Okay.
When they go to like pick up girls in the bar, they like walk up and they read them a Dr. Seuss book to get their phone number. Tell me if I'm close. Am I warm, cold? Like what are we?
Well, I don't even need to talk about it anymore.
Is that the class? All right.
You said it all. Okay.
That's what I was thinking it could be. Yeah, anyway.
Think. Okay.
I will think.
Think.
I'm doing it.
What's his name?
I'm thinking.
Sir Serio Farrell?
Nope. That name is not one that I've heard.
That was for the audience. That wasn't for you.
Okay.
Is that his name? He's from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
He teaches Arya stuff. Okay, so like that guy, like Uncle Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender, right?
Okay.
Think like I can't think of any other examples, but this is the mentor. Okay.
Okay.
So this is a class where you're like the mentor.
What? So this is Is it a strong combat class, or is this class about buffing your party? Like, is it literally gonna like buff them and stuff in combat?
Yes, this is a support class.
Okay.
All about support. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
You'll see what I mean, because this isn't like a subclass. This is like a class. Like, this is not really anything like any other class. It's really cool.
Is it more about story than about numbers? Is that what I'm getting right now?
Maybe.
Okay.
So the main mechanic of this class is called bided time.
Right.
So when you spend a turn in combat not attacking or dealing damage, so if you do anything else other than attacking or dealing damage, then you add a d4 to your bided time pool. So you have a pool of d4s that you can build up by not attacking.
Right.
But you can still do stuff like heal, or like you can do other things. You just can't attack, right? Or deal any damage. Jury's out on whether or not that includes debuffing. I don't know. Hard to say.
No, I don't think it would.
Okay.
The jury's in.
Okay, got it. So the next time you deal damage to the target, you add your bided time dice to the damage.
Okay. So what they want you to do is kind of like this. You spend your time improving your party's odds by buffing we'll have to see what kind of buffs and stuff they get. But you're making your party stronger. You're making the enemies weaker, and then you swoop in for the final decisive blow.
Yeah, I mean that's
kind of what it like. What it
comes
out like
all about,
when the situation is most dire, you finally step in and stop it.
Like a mentor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Exactly. That's what they're going for,
Yeah.
I think. So you can't stack them infinitely. You can only have a certain number, and I don't remember what that is. It says it somewhere in here. But that number increases at level 4. I guess you only have 1, and then at level 4 you have 2, and then at level 8 you have 3, and then at level 12 you have 4. So that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
But you can't just like you can't just keep them, because half of them rounded down disappear whenever you take a long rest, and when you roll initiative. So when you roll initiative, half of them are gone. So when you start, basically, because of the way it's worded, I imagine you, like when you wake up in the morning, you have them all basically within the first like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
because you didn't attack anybody or do anything.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, I don't...
So you wake up with half of them.
Yeah.
Because finishing the long rest counts as... All right.
Yeah, right. But anyway, I mean, you lose half of them when you roll initiative anyway, so it makes sense. Okay, so... Because otherwise your first turn would always be just like, boom. Like,
right. Yeah.
You know, that doesn't make any sense. Helpful Observer. As an action, you can let one creature within 60 feet of you spend their reaction to make a single weapon attack.
Oh.
Yeah, so you like help other people do things.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like you're directing them, which mechanically it works out to they get actions, you know, given to them on your turn, or things like that. So it's like strategically giving, you know, your wizard another chance to cast a spell or stuff like. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Now it does say single weapon attack. Mm-hmm. So no spells or anything like that.
That's true. Yeah, so maybe there's other stuff too. Let's keep going.
Fighter, barbarian.
What's interesting?
And you can use this number of times equal to 1 plus your intelligence or wisdom modifier. So this lets you choose whether you want to use intelligence or wisdom for your skills, basically. Hidden reserves. At second level, you can spend a bonus action to restore the use of one friendly creature's ability that otherwise restores on a short rest.
Okay, cool. So that's really helpful. What else have we got? We don't need to know exact numbers of how many times you can do stuff.
Time heals all wounds. You instill the strength, push past injuries. You can soothe aches with a reassuring word or expert touch from second level onwards. As a bonus action, expend any number of dice from your bided time pool and heal one creature by the amount you rolled.
So you can use the bided time for both a strong attack or healing in a pinch. That's very nice.
Which is really similar to Way of Mercy, actually.
Yeah.
Monk.
Yep.
Interesting. Third level, you choose your archetype. Either the eccentric or the martyr.
The eccentric is obviously the better one. So let's just talk about that one.
Okay. Standard ability score improvement stuff.
Yeah.
Time to dodge. Fifth level. As a reaction, you can spend 3 bided time dice in your pool to increase the AC of a creature within 60 feet by the amount rolled. That basically guarantees that whatever attack is happening will miss.
Yeah, there's a pretty significant. I mean, there's some chance that it will still hit. But, you know, like how? Yeah, that's fair.
3d4 on average is 8, I think.
I think it's 7.5.
7.5. So 7.5. Okay, that's a lot. I mean, if your AC, even if your AC is low, like 12.
Yeah, that gives you a 19.
That gives you a 19.
They are likely not to hit you.
Right.
I mean, unless it's somebody strong.
Yeah,
but hopefully you get some magic items to increase your AC by then too.
That is also true. The
regular items even. Anyway,
the bonus lasts until the end of their next turn, so they're protected for a long time.
That's really good. That's nice because that lets them get in there, and you don't have to worry about reactions and stuff. Yeah. Right. So you use that as like, oh, I'm dodge rolling through all the bad guys now because you pointed out the opening, and I saw through their defense. That's actually pretty cool.
It's cool, right?
What else have we got?
Full potential at 7th level. You use an action to restore the use of a friendly creature's ability that otherwise restores on a long rest. So there we go. There was a short rest one. Now there's a long rest one. Yeah. This one's really funny. Actually.
Okay, I'm down with that.
It's called I'll Hold Them Off. At 9th level, you can spend an action to remove yourself from the encounter. And a number of enemy creatures whose combined challenge rating sum equals no more than 1.5 times your mentor level. from combat. So you take a bunch of enemies out of the combat situation, and you hold them off long enough for your allies to finish the remainder of the encounter or escape. Once they're out of initiative, you roll a d20. That number cannot be modified or re-rolled. So one roll at a d20, it's like a death saving throw. Well, I guess those can be done at advantage with certain abilities. But you just roll a d20. 1 to 3, you die. But you die heroically. It says the death is permanent and cannot be reversed.
Okay, I mean... so listen, Story Before Numbers, I get it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's all I have to say to you right now is just, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. It's interesting, right? It doesn't...
For me...
Yeah.
If deaths are reversible in the D&D setting that you're in, there's no such thing as an unreversible death. Well, unless there's a way to make them unreversible. And that's how you died.
Right. I see what you're saying.
You know, like... So if those enemies normally would have killed you and it would have been reversible, I think it still would be. But your Story Before Numbers, and I get it. Well, 100%. Like, so both ways are fine, really. But that's just not how I'd run it anyway.
Well, I don't think it's necessary because if you're liberal with your use of that ability. Resurrection is expensive,
right?
As a spell, like it requires a cost of materials,
right?
And it's a lot. So you can only do that so many times anyway,
right? Well, until you're at the point where it doesn't matter anymore as much because you can just you have so many resources. But then then the fact that you're dead for a while is the big problem at that point, right?
Yeah, and maybe there are story reasons why you can't go and resurrect them right away.
Right.
That's true too.
Yeah.
The other thing too is that it rules out Revivify because it has to be within the last minute or 10 minutes. But the purpose of this is that they get away. Right. And so they're not coming back.
No.
Right. So
yeah. So that's the other thing I guess that makes it make sense is you know, if they're gone from where you are. Okay, yeah, I can see that maybe they never find your body or whatever.
Or so you can still resurrect somebody without a body with true resurrection. But that's even more expensive.
Right.
And also a 9th level spell? I don't know.
I think it's only
8th level spell? Probably 8th.
Yeah, 8th, and that's just baby stuff.
8th, 7th, or 8th? Yeah, I mean, like, whatever.
You barely even have to, like, that's like, like you get up in the morning, you take a shower... True resurrection, go to the bathroom, whatever.
I think the casting time is really long too. I think it's like an hour or something. Anyway, or
an hour is not terribly long.
Maybe much longer. Anyway, so on a roll of 4 through 19, there's a 10th standstill. Reduce your hit points by half of what it was when you started the ability. Round it up. Which is odd because you always round down in D&D unless stated otherwise. I'm not sure why it's rounded up in this case. I can't see a particular reason, but that's fine. If your allies stayed to continue the fight, have everyone roll for initiative again. But if they escaped, you return to greet them during their next rest.
Huh. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
On a 20, you kill all the creatures that you removed from combat. You are at 1 hit point, and if they escaped, you return to greet them during their next rest. And if you roll a natural 20, then all future natural 20s from this ability only result in a standstill for the next month. Actual month or in-game month? What do you think?
In-game month.
That makes sense.
Actual month is too easy. All you'd have to do is be like, hey guys, I can't make it this week.
Oh, yeah. This needs play tested, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's okay. What other ideas do they have?
Okay, Forgotten Strength. 11, level 11.
Here we go. This is the Master Roshi stuff.
Yeah,
I love that Master Roshi stuff.
Yeah.
So what I'm waiting for, though.
Cool stuff, yeah.
I'm waiting for Master Roshi's Opie or Uncle Iroh's tea. That's the thing I'm waiting for here. Like, I get that you can just roleplay it, but I want a mechanic that's based on, like, when Uncle Iroh had... Like, if you spill his tea, maybe it makes him, like, dejected. Right? And he can't fight. But if you give him tea... Now he's strong. He's like feeling good.
Then you learn why he's called the Dragon of the West. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Like,
remember, the thing that he did right before that was drink tea.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this says that you can choose a class feature from another class that they could gain at 7th level, or you can choose a 4th level spell.
All right,
and then you just
have that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
If there's a saving throw, the DC is 8 plus your proficiency, plus your intelligence or wisdom.
We can skip the numbers. This is about story.
This is not about. But you can't choose something that is an improvement of a base feature. So you can't choose like sneak attack.
That makes sense.
Because that gets improved, at certain levels, right? Yeah, because you don't get the required base feature for improvements. So it has to be like something at 7th level that another class would
Yep.
15th level, interdisciplinary.
Okay.
So if there's a feature that says to add your intelligence or wisdom modifier, you now can add your intelligence and wisdom modifier.
Whoa.
Yeah, now we're getting crazy, right?
Whoa.
Nothing left to teach. 17th level. Every ally to the mentor adds +2 to one ability score of their choice.
Whoa.
It can push ability scores higher than 20.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
The bonus does fade if the allies spend more than 1 week separated from the mentor. But if the mentor leaves the narrative entirely, the DM may deem it appropriate for the bonus to become permanent.
Yes, absolutely it would.
This feature cannot be applied from multiple mentors. That makes sense, right? Otherwise, you'd just stack it up,
But then your party would only be mentors. Like it doesn't seem like they're that combat useful compared to other classes.
Well, it would prevent, like, mechanically... Well, I guess that would not... I guess this happens at level 17, so it's not like they could bring back, like, another mentor. Well, they could have that mentor leave and then bring another one the next session.
Yeah. I think leaves. That might be able to stack, again, playtesting, but, like, you might be able to stack that and get away with it.
It's all DM discretion anyway. 18th level, you choose another class feature from another class that they would gain at level 15.
Okay.
Or choose an 8th level spell.
Yeah.
All the same.
So you could true resurrection yourself.
There you go.
If it is actually 8th level, and I got it right, but it might be 9. Anyway.
The time has come.
Yeah, that's the level 21. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it?
Your bided time dice become D10s.
Whoa!
You no longer lose your bided time dice when you rest or roll initiative.
Whoa. So now the time has always come. That's beautiful. And you have 4 of them at that point, right? Or is it 5?
I don't remember.
It doesn't matter. Okay, well, we'll move on.
Okay, then it just has the archetypes, the eccentric and the martyr.
Oh, maybe that's where it is. Okay, let's look at the eccentric. I'm coming in here.
Lesson in humility. Level 3, when you engage a creature in contested ability check,
okay,
you gain a bonus.
Apply the wax, then clean it out. Okay. Some wisdom, bumbling success. Let's read that. 14th level.
When forced to make a saving throw by another creature, choose to roll a saving throw at disadvantage. Should any of the d20s you rolled for the saving throw be a natural 20, you succeed and impose the effect of a failure back on the creature that forced you to make the saving throw.
I love it.
Oh, okay. So it's like a big gamble.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly it.
Okay.
That's so fun. Like you.
So it's at disadvantage, but if you roll a 20.
Yeah. Okay. So grenades in D&D, they do. It's a saving throw, right? They don't just deal like a hit die. So imagine somebody throws a grenade at your character and it explodes on you, but actually it hurts them.
Well, I would flavor that.
I love that.
Yeah, I would flavor that.
You can flavor it all sorts of ways, but get what flavor are you thinking?
Well, they throw the grenade and then you like headbutt it back at them.
That's some pumpkin spice stuff.
What? Okay, they throw the grenade at you, and as they do, you're spinning around to engage a different enemy, and it whacks your shoulder. I don't know.
Maybe.
What do you? Okay,
well, because the grenade still has to hit everything else around you, right? It still would do that. Just you.
I don't know.
Personally, would reverse the effect on you. I think.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like you're holding your teacup, and like you were just about to take a sip. The grenade hits, and it knocks the teacup out of your hand so hard it hits them. I don't know. We're getting somewhere. Okay. We're getting somewhere.
All right. Interesting.
All right. And so everything else around you takes damage, but and somehow you're fine.
How do you flavor that for something that does like an area of effect like psychic damage?
Well, I guess psychic damage, your mind is just so strong that like.
But how do you flavor it that it reaches them? From the area.
Well, they sent the damage to you, right? Like through their own mind. So they're like connected to you for that like instant. And what they find is when you're not paying attention, it turns out that your mind is like complete. It's not that when they try to get into it, it like stops them. It's that your mind is like so erratic and crazy because of the eccentric thing that it like automatically defends itself. This time, right? Like that sort of thing.
Sure.
I don't know. That's all I got.
I don't know, man. It seems odd, like hypnotic pattern. Mm-hmm. You know, because like that's not like you're sending it from. It's not like psionics. That's like a spell.
So
like
wait,
with the weave.
No,
like,
I got it.
Like a wizard thing. What?
No, I think I got it though.
What's that?
So your mind is so calm that it reflects what is right. Like it's still water.
Oh,
and
yeah,
but
and still water.
Yeah, there we are. I don't know. That's something.
You accidentally quoted Syrio Forel from Game of Thrones.
Oh well, still water is it's a thing.
But that's like one of his big things he teach anyway.
That's in the Karate Kid too with Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith.
Yeah, but that came out after the Game of Thrones books. Anyway, it's fine.
Oh, it did come out after the books. Okay, I was gonna say after. No, not after the show. I'm pretty sure they.
Yeah, well, but the shows were based off of the books,
and the books were based off of real life, as we all know.
I think I don't know if he says anything about it in the show, the still water thing. I don't think he does. It's in the books. I know.
Can we get anything about that feat now,
though? Yes, university student.
Yes.
Feat.
Okay, thank you. I will accept this as my feat for Liam.
If you should.
Yeah.
You've suffered through academic strain and exhaustion and come out the other end. You gain the following benefits. You ready for this?
I really freaking need this. Yeah, I'm ready.
You can survive on less sleep than the average person.
Mm-hmm.
When resting, you sleep for 4 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
You gain the same benefit as a normal human does from 8 hours.
That's the whole feat?
No.
Oh, okay.
2 more things.
Good, because that's just like a racial trait too.
You gain advantage on exhaustion saving throws.
Yes.
You gain proficiency in a language or tool of your choice.
There it is. That's the perfect thing for Liam. I'll take that feat when I have the chance.
That's why I added it. Level 8. is the next time.
Level 8, all right.
That you have the opportunity. So
that's gonna be so good. Oh my god!
Depending on what happens, you could be 6 within the next 4 or 5 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying
level 8's gonna be maybe mid next year. That's what it feels like
at the pace. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just want to say I always have these expectations of what I think we're gonna get through in a session,
mm-hmm.
and
it's not even usually close. I'm sure
it's not even close. Like. I'm like, all right. This one, they're going to find out about this place and they're going to start their journey there. Mm-hmm. And it's like...
Last session, we did nothing.
Oh, my...
And I took so long with this stupid subplot thing which actually was going to be something else. And I can't give it away.
No, I know. And I know what you mean.
It could be a major development.
That's so interesting to hear you say that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was talking to Carly about it.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, because we were like painting a ceiling, right? You know, whatever at her house.
Yeah.
She was like, hey, you know, what'd you think about the session last night? And I was like, nothing happened. I was like, you guys didn't do. I was like, nothing happened.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was overall, I think, fun.
I agree. Well.
The shopping was fun.
The shopping. Oh, yeah. Okay. Like, you know, just like plot wise.
Yeah.
Like, you guys didn't move.
We didn't go anywhere.
You are no closer to your goal than you were when the session started.
Mm-hmm.
You did learn a few things, I guess.
You know, had my roles gone differently,
yeah,
we technically might have.
Yeah.
No,
I believe
then
that.
I had to do something, so I derailed it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Because otherwise, like that, what I was intending to do
mm-hmm.
would have pushed things forward real fast, as far as I know.
I was very thankful for that, actually.
Yeah.
And I wish it had worked out differently. Thinking back on it, I was like, I should. Why didn't I give you advantage for that role? You should have. Everybody else was sleeping. You know, like.
Well, I guess that's true. Do you get advantage on passive perception or against passive? It was passive, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was all passive perception, right?
Yeah,
is what I was doing there.
Anyway,
whatever, you know.
What was Carly saying though?
I thought a couple of different things. Oh, that she like agreed that
nothing happened.
That nothing happened.
Yeah.
There was, I think, maybe a little bit of frustration about it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's tough because it's not like I guess my frustration
mm-hmm.
stemmed a little bit from the fact that the feedback I got from everybody, or one of the biggest pieces of feedback that I got was that they felt sort of lost, like there was no direction. Like mm-hmm. I was just saying go, but they didn't really have anywhere to go or anything to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically gave you guys a character that was like, hey, I have information for you.
Right.
And I want to help you.
Right.
With the thing that you guys are trying to do.
I don't know, dude. It sounds too shady.
Well, yeah, it's shady, but like, I don't know. I felt like that would instigate some sort of like something.
Well, I think the plan is in the morning.
Yeah.
To just go to the place ourselves and not.
Sure. I mean, you guys could do.
I guess there's another conflict there though, because
mm-hmm.
yes, we do need to upgrade Marty and Summit's equipment when we can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's an important thing.
For context, by the way, a character basically told the party there are only 2 people in the party that don't have really. Excuse me. They don't have really any magical capabilities at all.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, full disclosure, some of the things that you guys are going to fight are going to be really tough without magic, you know.
Now, I can magicify their items for them.
Right. Which is one potential solution.
Right.
But I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to do that. Doesn't matter to me if you guys do that or not.
Right.
Obviously, you guys do what you want to do. But where was I going with this?
I have no idea.
I don't either. I can't remember now. I was gonna say something to respond. What did you say again?
We could magicify them.
No, before that, like, what you were saying that you.
I don't know what I was saying. Do you think I listen to anything that comes out of here? No, it's okay. It doesn't matter right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, but I guess the part of the conversation I had with Carly was she doesn't understand why you guys didn't sit down and talk to each other about it that night. Mm-hmm. About like what to do.
Yep. And you know what it was? So one thing mm-hmm. is I have trouble with this. This is what I have trouble with as a player.
Okay.
When I figured out what Liam should do, mm-hmm. I was just like, all right, now I have to just wait until he gets to the part where he can do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me. It's probably because the character isn't me.
Okay.
Because like if it was me, I would know what I would be doing in the meantime. Mm-hmm. But for him, it's like if I like in real life, I would take out my phone and set a reminder for a later time.
Okay.
To do the thing.
Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying.
I can't do that with him. Because time works different in D&D.
Yeah.
Right?
You can skip forward and backward. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't mean literally like time travel. But I just mean like I can't set a reminder for 15 minutes in D&D because 15 minutes is 2 seconds or it's an hour depending on the context, right?
Right. Exactly.
So like I knew that I needed him to do something when everyone went to bed. But if I had engaged and like fully done everything throughout the rest of the time, mm-hmm. I wouldn't have been able to remember it. I would have just been like, we would have gotten up the next morning and I would have been like, I was supposed to do that last night. I hope I get another chance to do that. Yeah. And I probably wouldn't.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. It's tricky. The tough thing, I think, this is also part of our conversation, mm-hmm. because there are so many players. Mm-hmm. I want everybody to have
a chance to do their thing.
Yeah, a chance to do their thing.
But that also takes too long. Like my thing took too long. That, in my personal opinion, mm-hmm. the Liam arc of that story took too long for not resolving to anything.
I wouldn't say
last session.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it resolved to nothing.
Well, I think it's all that it really resulted in was I think Summit being more confused about Liam and maybe the rest of it. Well, I guess the conversation with Callie was important.
Yeah.
Afterward.
Yes, it probably was.
Yeah.
I think though
they are going to have to kill each other at some point. They are going to have to fight to the death.
Jenny listens to this podcast, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just warning you, Jenny.
Okay.
Liam, he's going to have to kill Callie. That's not true. No, Liam doesn't enjoy killing anybody. Like he's not a fan of it or anything like that.
Sure.
Like it is what it seems like on the surface. He thinks that what he's doing is important.
Yes.
And that's all, like, that's it. Like, he sees the benefit of it for everybody. And he's willing to look past the shortcomings of it. and so it's probably good that other characters are trying to keep him in check. But he's also going to do it anyway, as far as I know.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think that the way you're playing Liam makes a lot of sense to me.
Right.
So, like, I'm following what you're doing.
Because have you ever been 19 years old and had somebody tell you can't do something?
Yeah.
Or that you shouldn't do something?
Oh, yeah.
That you were sure you should do? Because I've been that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let me tell you about how many times I've been 19 years old.
So many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. You see, that's the thing. Like, there's the balance of... Because I'll agree with you on
How
that.
old is Dissel? I'll have to ask him next session.
Yeah, you should ask him.
Or maybe I'll just ask Paul. I'll just ask Paul after this.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know how ages work for
tieflings.
Yeah. Oh, he's just a yeah. He's just a tiefling. I forgot. Yeah.
They're, I think, the same as humans.
All right. Well, I'll ask him.
Because they have human blood in them. They're like part human.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of tieflings are born from 2 human parents.
Yep.
Actually.
Just like me and you. We're 2 human parents.
Are we?
Well, we brought you here today to make a little announcement.
Okay. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. So.
Me too.
Okay.
I just found out.
All right, great.
Not 30 seconds ago.
Okay. I'm ready.
We have a face cam now on our podcast.
Here it is.
It's right here. You can see. Check it out. Look at this. When I wave my hand like this, you could see it in the camera. How crazy is that?
Whoa.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's right there, huh?
Yeah, right there.
Huh.
That's what my phone's been doing lately. Anyway,
So.
So what's the last thing?
Oh.
The third homebrew?
Yeah. Well,
just tell me what it's called, because I don't know if we have time to talk about it today. We'll see. Maybe we got a little extra bit here.
Did I did neglect something really, really quick here.
Mm-hmm.
University student feat. That was from Wizardlywaffles.
Oh my God, what a name. I like the names, guys. Like StoryBeforeNumbers. You are taking a stand with that name. Mm-hmm. I love it. Wizardlywaffles. That has a lot of good feelings. That's making me feel real nice inside. Anyway, who's up next?
Shield dice.
Shield dice.
One shared.
It's like a Dungeon Dice Monsters deal. Anyway,
it was one shared D, which is what makes it cool.
Woo!
Shield dice. Okay. This is cool. Click on that link in the description to look at this, because otherwise this might not make sense. Right. It's really just a chart that helps you with world building.
Oh.
So yeah, it helps you. It helps you develop the creation of your world, and that branches off into who lives there, where they live, and what has happened in the world already.
No, that's backwards. You are starting from here.
Yes.
But actually, it starts from here. At the top, these things.
You can start it wherever you want. You get started from here.
Yeah.
Man-made
I guess
borders.
You could.
Like country. That's what I did. I started with the continents. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing I decided.
Yeah. I
wanted 2 continents. That's what I decided, right? That's the first thing I did. And then it all kind of branched out from there. But this is just a map, like a guideline of what kinds of things you probably want to think about when you're building a world.
Yeah. For me personally, I think it's all the stuff that affects gameplay, which is like this left hand side, a lot of it.
Like the beliefs and technology and religion and stuff. Yeah.
Right. And then you start from there and you work your way back to justify why the gameplay is the way it is, if that makes sense. Maybe some of this stuff too, I don't know.
Well, that's the cool thing about world building, because that's what pretty much every world builder does. Because nobody I mean, maybe somebody does, but it'd be really hard to like map out everything in chronological order. A lot of it has to happen the other way.
So you guys got to go pick up the book Reamde by Neil Stevenson now. And read through that whole thing before finishing this episode.
Sure.
It's only like 1,200 pages or something. Easy, light read.
Done.
I think on Audible it was 20 whatever hours. No big deal.
Read it.
28 hours or something. So.
Yeah.
It's about let's say it's about an MMORPG.
Okay.
And there are 2 writers. One who is extremely prolific and will just, like, wherever he feels like writing about in the story, he'll just do it. One of them is, like, he starts from the beginning and works everything out from there.
Okay.
And this book is about the conflict between those 2 writers. and terrorists, and it does end with a big gunfight in the forest of northern America, of like northern U.S. southern Canada border.
Okay.
So stuff like that.
Like an actual gunfight?
Actual gunfight.
Actually happened? Interesting.
Yeah. There's like a lot. It's pretty great. I don't know what genre you'd call it, because Neil Stephenson usually does maybe sort of, you'd call it sci-fi.
Yeah.
This almost feels like one step back from sci-fi. Like it's straight up could just be real, but it's not.
Okay, so it's like when you say conflict, you mean like these people are like these guys create their world these different ways, mm-hmm. and they actually like
they don't fight each other.
Oh, okay.
There is conflict between them.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the actual physical conflict is almost by happenstance. Almost, not quite.
That's cool.
Yeah,
there's like that one linchpin thing
that like it's just like see it starts out. If I had to describe the structure of the book, I would say it's this sort of like downhill slope of just bad stuff happening, and then it all ties off like one at a time, coming back up.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's how I would describe it.
Huh. Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good read.
It is. It's pretty fun, dude.
Yeah. Dope.
Somebody gets stabbed with a broken CD and killed.
Was it a Microsoft dinosaur CD?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, seriously though, like having some sort of structure when you're world building mm-hmm. is really helpful, because like you forget about this stuff. But at the same time, if you literally just, what I like, see that I would start at the beginning, like mm-hmm. this is my personality. I would start at the beginning and try to build a whole thing and never finish it.
Well, that's just it.
So
yeah,
here's how I work around that.
Okay.
What I do is I write a series of short stories that would occur in this setting. If that makes sense. Like these are things that have happened or would happen. Mm-hmm. Like in the future it might happen, or in the past it did happen, or this is like how things are in the present.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that I can extrapolate how the world is set up.
You know what's really interesting about that? That's what I did recently. Mm-hmm. I've written 1.5 short stories.
Ooh.
That take place in my world.
Are we going to get to read any of them?
Yes, but you can't read the one that I finished until after you get through that part of the campaign.
Okay.
Because otherwise it will spoil.
It will spoil stuff.
It's a really, really minor spoiler.
Yeah.
But it's one of those kinds of spoilers where if you read it, then going into that part of the story, you'd be able to avoid a conflict that I don't want you to avoid.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, fine.
I mean, I guess you could avoid it anyway.
Oh, yeah, we will. Because we're not going to go anywhere or do anything.
That's what it feels like sometimes.
It does. You know what, though?
What's that?
We'll get it.
It's fine.
I have absolute confidence in myself.
Yeah. Well, I talked about that on a previous...
Unfounded confidence.
Unfounded confidence. Well, I came to this conclusion in a previous episode mm-hmm. that I think that the game would have benefited a lot from actually using an experience system instead of a milestone system, mm-hmm. because then there would be like an out of game incentive to do
the next thing.
The next thing, because right now there really isn't an incentive to do. Well, there is.
Well, so there's a role-playing incentive, which is that our characters are desperate to reach their goals, I would assume. But yeah. I don't know the motivations of any other character. Well, I kind of know Saren's now that we talked to Carly about it on the show. By the way, you should watch that episode number 8.
Mm-hmm. You should.
Carly and Cannibals. That's a really good episode. Probably one of our best so far. One of top 10.
Definitely top 10 so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll have her back on.
Don't worry.
Yeah. We're going to do that. We're going to have her back on. See, I keep wanting to look at the microphone like I used to, but we have a camera. Anyway, Carly's going to be back on with the camera. We'll figure out how we're going to set that up eventually.
Guessed right there. I think you looked at the right spot.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I would like...
Well, I'd probably be there again in the middle.
Yeah. I would like to have all of the players from our campaign as a guest rad. Eventually. Like each?
Yeah, like one at a time or two at a time or however many.
But we'll see. I'm sure that not all of them will want to.
There's kind of this whole pandemic deal going on too.
That's true.
That's going to put a little fork in that wrench.
Yeah, it's gonna. That's
the saying. That's the saying around here, at least. I don't know what you guys say around there.
Putting a fork in that wrench, yeah.
Because it's the place where the wrench breaks off into two parts.
Like a monkey wrench, or I guess any wrench.
When your wrench breaks in half while you're trying to use it,
man, I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me.
Yeah, it splits right up the middle, exactly how a wrench shouldn't break. Yeah.
Well, it was nice talking to you today, Austin.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. It was lovely getting to see and talk to all of you again at home.
Yeah, it's nice to finally see you in person too.
Right. You look
great, by the way.
Absolutely. Different than I expected, but
yeah. Did you do something with your hair today? It looks good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Goodbye.
Let's see ya.